Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Monika and today I'm going to show you how to make fantastic appetizer called simply pickled mushrooms. So if you like things that are pickled, that dirty, kind of soury taste, pickled mushrooms is the best because it does not require a lot of time to prepare. So you're going to need some mushrooms. I have 3 pounds of mushrooms in my bowl. This recipe requires also vinegar, and I have 1.5 cups, which is 12 ounces. So here is my vinegar in a cup, and water. We're going to use 3 cups of water. And then spices that we need to add. I have some bay leaves. I'm going to add maybe 5 or 6 bay leaves for this recipe. Then I do have the mustard seeds, so maybe 1.5 teaspoons is here. I have 10 berries of allspice. Oh, they're running away from me in the little bowl. So allspice. And then some peppercorns. I have colorful peppercorns, but you can use just regular black peppercorns, no problem at all. And then salt. Salt is going to be needed for the brine and also for boiling the mushroom. So first step we're going to do is wash your mushroom well. You can cut the stems from mushrooms and have only the heads, the caps, or like me, I'm going to use them all. And the first step is to boil your water and then boil the mushrooms with a little bit of salt, maybe for 3 minutes. So I'm going to put a little bit of salt for the water to boil our mushroom, and I'm going to use maybe 3 teaspoons of salt. And now mushrooms are going into the boiling water. So let's do this. So we're going to boil them for 3 minutes. They are always floating on top, so I will have to mix them occasionally. So they're going to be boiled, all of them, the tops and bottoms. Okay. Maybe I can do that. Too much mushroom, I guess. No, it's not too much. When we boil them, they will get smaller, so they shrink. They are full of water. Mushrooms are like people. They are full of water, and when we boil them, they will shrink a little bit. So they will, we'll probably get like 1/3 of the amount I have in the big bowl. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's do that. Oh yes. Now I'm going to mix it and taste the water if it's enough salt in the water for the mushrooms. See, they want to go on top. They don't want to get to the bottom of the pot. I could probably use some weight on top, but I will just mix them. So that's the mushrooms. They're going to boil for 3 minutes. So I need to wait again for the water to boil again. Okay. No, the water is salty enough. So yeah, when you're going to boil a mushroom, it depends how much you put water in your pot. Then if you think that the water is not too salty, I mean not enough salty, you can add later. But if you add at the beginning too much salt, then you cannot remove the salt from the water. So it's better to add more later. So I'm going to cover the mushrooms and wait for it to boil, and then count the 3 minutes. So at the time when we are waiting for the mushrooms to start boiling again, I'm going to prepare the brine. So I have 3 cups of water, and I'm going to add the water and all the spices to a little saucepan, boil it for maybe 5 minutes, and then add the vinegar at the end. So I have 2 teaspoons of salt, so the salt goes in, and a little bit, well, how many? Maybe I have 20 peppercorns in here, so they are going in. 10 allspice berries, they go in, and 1.5 teaspoon of the mustard seeds. Okay, now my bay leaves, how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 is enough. Okay, so this is going to boil for 5 minutes, and then we're going to add the vinegar. So let's start the fire. Let's check on our mushrooms. Okay, so the water started boiling a while ago, and the 3 minutes passed, and as you can see, all the bubbles this is whenever you start boiling the mushrooms, the kind of foam is going to start popping up on top. So it's probably a better idea to have taller pot, so you can have that room, extra room for the foam. Okay, now I'm going to turn off the heat and just remove all my mushrooms with big spoon. You can drain the water using well, you can drain the water different way. I'm using spoon. Okay, so the mushrooms are going back to the big bowl that we started with, and you're going to see how much of volume they lost, but by weight they are probably much heavier, because even though they lost a lot of water, the density of the mushroom right now is more, because we boiled them and all the water is now inside of the mushrooms. Even though they shrunk, they are heavier. Okay, so that's all. I think only 2 more left in here, and that's it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so look at this bowl. We had full bowl of mushroom. It was 3 pounds of mushroom, and they just shrunk. They just shrunk. So that's the mushroom that we need for the pickled mushroom recipe. So I am going to use glass jars. So to prepare your glass jars, you have to sanitize them. Of course, sanitizing means just wash them well, and that's it. You don't have to disinfect them, you just have to sanitize them. So we're going to put the beautiful cooked boiled mushrooms into the glass jars, and then I'm still waiting for the brine. I don't know if you can see the brine if we switch the camera, but I'm going to get the big pot behind me, and let's see the brine. Okay, the brine is almost boiling, but not yet. So we're going to give it maybe 2 more minutes and see how it goes. So our brine is boiling. Now I am going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. So we're going to have sweet and sour brine. And then 1.5 cups, which is 12 ounces, which my bubble mug holds 12 ounces, so I know exactly how much of vinegar I have in here. Now stir it, and we're just going to wait for it to again start boiling, turn off the heat, and the brine is ready. So now, because we need to give it probably another 2 minutes for start the process of boiling again, I need to taste it. Oh yeah, That's the brine I remember from the mushrooms my grandma did back in the day. So I'm going to give it a few minutes for boiling, and now we can start packing the mushrooms to the jar. So I do have 2 jars, and we will see if I need the third one. We're going to make the third one as well, but I'm thinking 2 is going to be just fine for the amount of mushrooms. And the tablespoon is a little bit small for scooping out all the mushrooms. Okay, I'm almost done. So I'm not going to fill out the jar with the mushrooms up to the top, not yet, because I want to add some of the spices that are in the brine. So let's start the second jar. Okay, so the mushrooms, the pickled mushrooms, when you open the jar, maybe after 2 or 3 days, when they are standing in your fridge, for example, you can eat them as appetizer, or you can use them with salads. They are just great snack as well. I love to snack on soury, tarty things like pickles in general. Pickles, anything that is pickled is perfect snack for me. So if you like tarty snacks, that's something for you. So our brine started to boiling again. I am going to turn it off, and let's use my mittens so I don't burn my hand. Okay, so that's the brine. It is ready, so let's move things around in here. I'm going to use some kitchen towel, so we are not going to make a lot of mess. Okay, now the brine. I will try to add an equal amount of the spices that are floating in the brine. So we're going to have 3 bay leaves in one jar and then 3 in the other one. I need some mustard seeds as well. Okay. So that's one of my glass jars. Now we're going to swap. And let's do the same. 3 bay leaves, some berries of allspice. I need some mustard seeds, so I need to find them and catch them. Okay, and now I'm going to add more mushrooms, and hopefully we're going to fill up the jars with the amount of mushrooms we have in here. Yes, we will. This is very simple recipe. As you can see, not a lot of work. It's just boiling and just packing into the jars. One mushroom just escaped. No worries, I will eat it. Okay, perfect amount. So again, I had 3 pounds of mushrooms. Come on, little one. And I was able to fit them into 2 jars. Okay, now I have way too much of the brine at this moment, but that's okay. I will just scoop up all the berries and all the seeds and put into the jars, and the rest I will just throw away, or maybe do something else with it, huh? Yeah, we're Polish people, we try to use every single thing cook, so I will probably make more mushrooms. Okay, so I'm not going to add a lot of the liquid, the brine, because we need to leave maybe like, let's say, half an inch from the top. And now I'm going to use paper towel to clean and dry the top of the jars, and just put the lids on tightly, and that's it. Okay, I need to hold you. You can use some help. This requires some muscle. So the only thing I'm going to do while they are still hot, I'm going to just flip them over and leave them on the kitchen countertop overnight. And tomorrow when I come, they're going to be ready to be flipped over again, and you will see that suction on the lid, which is going to preserve them because no air is going to go inside. You can keep them up to a month in your fridge, but I'm sure you're going to eat it before the month passes, and just enjoy them with maybe salads or by themselves. And now it's time to taste some mushrooms that I made. Some time ago. Ooh, we have gorgeous mushrooms in here. So my mushrooms, when I made them, I think it was a month ago, they were on the kitchen countertop. Because we have vinegar, we have salt and sugar, they are preserving the mushrooms very well. So I did not put them even to the fridge, not at all, no. So that's how I roll with the mushrooms. Okay, yeah, fishing them out from the jar, that's the best part. Okay, so let's have a taste. I never ate them before. I mean, I ate back in Poland, but this kind, since I made them, I didn't open the jar, so I was waiting for a special occasion. Perfect. You have that exact amount of sourness from vinegar. The sugar is a little bit trying. The sugar is trying to level the sourness, which is perfect. The same way my babcia would make them. Delicious. You can eat them with anything or without anything. I remember back in Poland, this was appetizer thing, and usually when we had like name days, celebrating name days or any holidays, and the guys would have shot of vodka, for example, they would bite little mushroom afterwards. So the pickled mushrooms are very good after you have shot of vodka. Delicious. So try, guys, and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.